Well, I'm here at the Sony booth, and joining me is Mike Nejat from Sony. How are you?
Very nice, thank you. It was nice meeting you.
You too. And I've got to say, maybe this is unfair, but I am kind of surprised. When I thought of the Sony booth, I thought of TVs and I thought of PlayStation, but there's just so much more here.
Yes, of course. At Sony Electronics, all our services and products must comply with the FCC accessibility mandate.
Yeah.
But at Sony, we go beyond. We try to create products and services that are being used by people of all abilities. So it can be easily used by everyone.
Well, I mentioned TVs. I think that's what a lot of people think of. And you did show me an accessible TV, and of course Sony TVs do have the accessible models as well. And you showed me a Android-powered one there, which was very nice indeed. But I was more interested, as I said, by some of the other things I didn't think of. I mean, firstly, there was AIBO the dog, of course.
Of course, AIBO the dog is our AI dog that is used for emotional support. The AI dog can work with the owner and learn from the interaction more and more and more. And every year, new commands can be downloaded and work as a dog. The good thing about the AIBO dog is that you don't have to feed it, you don't have to take it to the doctor, you don't have to clean after it.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is also, when it needs to be charged, it goes back to its charging station.
I've got to say, I always thought, I'm not sure you can make an emotional connection with a device, right? A piece of hardware. But it is very likable. I was smoothing it, it was wagging, it was turning its head. There is something very likable about it. So you do see this as a social companion, an actual replacement for a dog where maybe a real dog isn't practical.
Exactly. As you know that in the United States, many aging community, people live alone, and this can help them to be kind of a emotional support and kind of an interaction that they're missing now.
Yeah, of course. And I suppose a lot of that is down to the software, the intelligence of the dog. Does it feel like it's listening to you? Does it feel like it understands you?
Yes, the more you talk to it, the more that interaction becomes like a sit, high five, or play music. You can do all that stuff for you.
Well, I couldn't get him to sit, but I can't get my own real dog to sit either, so that's fine.
Oh, same with me.
But also we moved on as well, and El Dean showed me some of the work you're doing on accessibility with cameras. And we've got to say, I was shocked. Of course, there are models out there that have a screen reader built in, so you can navigate the menu and things like that. But there was also, he was telling me, a way that laser projecting into the retina.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, tell us more about that.
So, as you may know that now we are in the age of creators. So we don't want anybody to be left behind. Therefore, we create our cameras that can be used by all people. So you saw the text magnification, you saw text to speech, but the QD laser retina is something that if you have retina is not damaged, but the other portion of your eyes, the QD laser device takes a picture, it's like all TVs interlaced, and they project it back of your eyes. So even you have hard time seeing, with using that device, you can easily see, take pictures or take videos. It makes you like any other person.
So is it basically, so let's say you're taking a picture with a camera, it's like the viewfinder is being projected to the retina?
Exactly.
Wow. Of course, that's not going to work for everyone, as you said.
Yes.
You know, if you've got a damaged retina, like me with retinitis pigmentosa, that's not going to work. But for a lot of people, that may make a huge difference.
So yesterday we had this young lady here that she said that she cannot see through her left eyes for a long time. When she used the QD laser, she said, wow, this is something that I have not seen through my left eyes for years.
Yeah.
And she was so excited that she could see through left eyes.
Now, another thing you showed me as well was the kiosk and an accessible kiosk for point of sale.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes. So we started to participate at CSUN in 2018. And around 2016-17, many of the retailers decided to move away from a person to sell the product to a kiosk that can provide a specification of each device so people can decide by themselves. They go to, like, for example, Best Buy, and they see many TVs or they see many speakers, and they can go through and do a demo and they can decide which one to buy. In this case, in 2018, we decided that we need to bring something to the retail space for people who are visually impaired. So in 2018, we started with only Braille, working with Braille Institute, and we brought that to the market. Not to the market, to the show.
Yeah.
Then at that time, we got a lot of good feedback. Then the year 2019 and so forth, we start adding audio description externally. Anyway, in 2024, we embedded the audio description into each device. On top of that, we seamlessly added the Braille into the description. And in 2024 October, we released that product to 925 Best Buy store. So if the people go to Best Buy store and they want to see and decide on our wireless speakers, they can easily go through and hear the audio description and use the Braille, especially for people with visually impaired.
Yeah, I had a play with it, and it's so easy to use. Now, I don't read Braille anyway, but the buttons on there were, just obvious what they were anyway. The audio description was telling me, what the sound bar or the smart speaker looked like. It was very cool.
Yeah, it's more of a inclusive for everyone.
Yeah,
so we don't want to
absolutely.
make it specifically for visually impaired. We want to create a product or services or even kiosks for people of all abilities to be able to use.
Fantastic. And it wasn't just that. There is so much here. You had over-the-counter hearing aids, which were so small. I nearly dropped it and lost it. I can only apologize, but absolutely fantastic. And of course, the accessible PlayStation controller for people with motor difficulties. I had to play with that as well, and being able to switch out the key caps, the button caps, fantastic. People are going to find that so useful. Just quickly circling back to the TVs, because a lot of people ask us this when it comes to accessibility on screen readers. What models of Sony TVs, or generally, how many models have accessibility features?
All models, because that's FCC mandate. So all models have the FCC mandate, but in many cases we go beyond that and create something that can be easily used by people of all abilities that I mentioned.
Fantastic. Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.
You too.